in the heart of a lush tropical rainforest where the gentle whispers of the wind intertwined with the distant trumpeting of elephants. A tranquil river flowed peacefully through the verdant landscape. On this fateful day, however, the sky hung heavy with dark clouds, and the once calm waters had transformed into a raging torrent. A herd of majestic elephants, their gray forms stark against the emerald foliage, had begun their perilous journey across the swollen river, aiming for the promise of abundant grasslands on the distant shore. Among the towering adults, a playful baby elephant, barely a few months old, frolicked at the edge of the group. Its tiny feet, still unsteady on the slippery riverbank, betrayed its inexperience. In a heart-stopping moment, the young calf lost its footing and tumbled into the churning waters. The current, merciless in its strength, immediately swept the helpless creature downstream. The mother elephant's anguished roar pierced the air as she desperately tried to follow her baby. But the raging river, now a formidable barrier, held her back with its relentless force. The rest of the herd, sensing the impending tragedy, grew frantic. Their trumpets of distress echoed through the dense forest, a chorus of fear and helplessness that seemed to shake the very trees. It was in this moment of crisis that fate intervened. Arun, a local villager known for his deep connection to the forest and its inhabitants, heard the elephant's cries of desperation. Without a second thought, he plunged into the treacherous waters, his heart pounding with determination and fear. The muddy river threatened to pull Arun under with each step, but he pressed on, his eyes never leaving the struggling form of the baby elephant. The calf's trunk flailed above the water, a silent plea for help that spurred Arun to push harder against the current. While as he finally reached the terrified animal, Arun wrapped his arms around its small, shivering body, feeling the rapid heartbeat against his chest. In a touching display of trust and desperation, the little elephant curled its tiny trunk around Aaron's shoulder, clinging to him as if he were its last hope in the world. And indeed, in that moment, he was. With this precious cargo secure in his arms, Arun began the arduous journey back to shore. Each step was a battle against nature itself. The river, as if angered by this act of defiance, slapped against Aaron's face with renewed fury. Mud rose to his hips, threatening to trap him in his young charge. But through it all, one thought burned brightly in Aaron's mind, driving him forward. I must return it to its mother. The journey seemed endless, but Aaron's determination never wavered. His muscles screamed in protest, his lungs burned for air, yet he pushed on, driven by a force greater than himself. As he finally neared the bank, the waiting herd let out a collective trumpet of relief and encouragement. With his last reserves of strength, Arun hauled himself and the calf onto solid ground. Exhausted but triumphant, he carried the baby elephant on his shoulders as if it weighed no more than a child, marveling at the bond forged in those harrowing moments. The herd, led by the anxious mother, rushed forward to surround them. In a moment that would be forever etched in Aaron's memory, the mother elephant lowered her massive head, gently touching him with her trunk. This simple gesture, laden with gratitude and understanding, transcended the barriers between species. It was a thank you in the most profound language of the animal kingdom. From that day forward, Aaron's life was forever changed. The villagers, in awe of his bravery and compassion, bestowed upon him the title, the rescuer of the green forest. It was a name he carried with humility and pride, a constant reminder of the day he had risked everything to save a life. But it wasn't just the humans who remembered. Whenever Aaron's path took him near the river crossing, if the elephant herd was nearby, a remarkable thing would happen. The once lost calf, now growing into a strong young elephant, would break away from the group and run to greet him. It would wave its trunk in joyful recognition, eyes bright with what could only be described as affection and gratitude. This extraordinary bond between man and elephant became a legend in the region, testament to the power of compassion and the unexpected connections that can form in the most desperate of circumstances. Arun's act of bravery had not only saved a life, but it also forged a friendship that defied the boundaries of species. As the years passed, the story of Arun and the baby elephant spread far beyond the confines of the forest. It became a tale told around campfires in schools and passed down through generations. It served as a powerful reminder of the responsibility humans bear to protect and coexist with the natural world around them. For Arun, each encounter with the elephant herd was a poignant reminder of that fateful day. He would watch and wonder as the once tiny calf, now a magnificent adult, displayed the same playful spirit that had led to its near tragedy years ago, yet now tempered by experience and the watchful eyes of its herd. The elephant moved with a grace and confidence that filled Arun with pride. The river, too, seemed changed by the events of that day. While it still swelled with the rains and rushed with seasonal fervor, to Arun, it now seemed less a barrier and more a symbol of the connections that ran deep through the forest. It was a reminder that in nature, as in life, the most profound bonds can be formed in the face of adversity. Aaron's life had taken on new purpose since that day. He became an ardent advocate for the protection of the forest and its inhabitants, using his story to inspire others to see the value in every life, no matter how small or different from our own. His home at the edge of the forest became a sanctuary of sorts, a place where injured animals were brought for care and wear. Travelers came to hear the tale of the man who braved a raging river to save a baby elephant. As twilight fell over the forest each evening, Arun would often sit by the river, listening to the distant calls of the elephant herd. In those quiet moments, he reflected on the incredible journey that had led him here. From a simple villager to a celebrated hero, his life had been transformed by a single act of courage and compassion. I'm somewhere in the depths of the forest, a gentle giant with kind eyes. In a memory that spanned years, trumpeted softly as if calling out to the friend who had once carried it to safety. In the language of the forest, it was a song of gratitude, of friendship, and of the enduring bond between all living things.